Forearm plank, a great exercise when performed correctly. I see a lot of people performing forearm planks with really poor form, and this doesn't help to transfer into more advanced gymnastics movements, let's say for the push-up as an example. So I like to use the forearm plank as a progression towards a strict push-up, and I find it a useful tool for building midline awareness, but also starting to build some muscle endurance in the midline. So today I want to talk about some of the cues I use in a forearm plank to help improve the quality of your plank, also increase the hold time, so it's going to improve the muscle endurance of the plank, and it's transferable into, again, more advanced movements like the push-up. So the first cue I want to talk about is what's called a posterior pelvic tilt. So when we set up for the plank, what we want to try to do is we want to try to tuck an imaginary tail between our legs. So we're tilting the pelvis and we're trying to contract the glutes nice and hard in this position. What this does is the glutes and the abdominals work together. So if I've got a posterior pelvic tilt and I'm contracting the glutes, the abdominals are working, okay? If the pelvis anteriorly rotates and I get this arch in the lower back, then the glutes switch off and the abdominals will switch off as well. So I'm not targeting the right muscles. In this broken position, I start to put pressure on the hip flexors, and it doesn't help to improve the strength through the midline. So we try to tilt the pelvis and contract the glutes nice and hard. The next thing we want to think about is trying to push the heels of the feet together. We see a lot of people performing planks with the feet apart. Bring the feet together and focus on pushing the heels together nice and hard. You can test this right now. If you're standing up, try to contract the glutes and tilt the pelvis. You'll feel that you get a good contraction out of the glutes. Bring the feet together, now push the heels together nice and hard and contract the glutes at the same time. You'll feel that you'll get a stronger contraction. So if I contract the glutes nice and strong, then I'm going to get more tension through the abdominals as well and make that midline even tighter. So I hold more tension in the body, which is obviously what we want in the plank, and then what we want when we start to do push-ups so we don't start worming out of the push-up. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the position of the eyes over the hands and the positions of the shoulders in relationship to the elbow. So a lot of people perform a plank and they're back here. The eyes are sort of in line with the elbows and the shoulders are behind the elbows. What we want to do is we want to move the eyes forwards. The eyes are stacked in line with the hands and the shoulders are now forward of the elbows in this position. So we're not here, we're here, okay? Shoulders are slightly forward. This starts to put a little bit of force into the shoulders, and it also starts to replicate where I want to go with the push-up. In a proper push-up, I want to come down and forward with the shoulders and about to push back and up and have the shoulders stacked. So in that plank position at the bottom, it's replicating or starting to replicate the bottom of the push-up position. So we want to lean the shoulders forward of the elbows there and start to build some strength in the shoulders. At the same time, we don't want the shoulders to sink down. We're not retracting the shoulders and relaxing there. We're deliberately pushing the forearms into the ground and we're trying to round the upper back. So we're spreading the shoulder blades across the back as wide as we can. So the shoulders go into protraction. So I'm not sinking, I'm pushing nice and hard and trying to round that upper back and maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt while I hold the plank. So there are some simple cues I want you to try. Hop down and hold your plank. Focus on that posterior pelvic tilt, pushing the heels together nice and hard, leaning the shoulders forward of the elbows and protracting the shoulders as much as you possibly can. You'll see that this will increase the tension in the body, allow you to hold the plank for longer, and start to build the tension that you need to be able to perform strict push-ups. Let me know how you go.